AEP Texas receives a massive loan that could benefit South Texas. The Harbor Island Desalination Project takes another step in its development phase. And Governor Abbott is ordering an investigation into the Mission Medical Center over birth package allegations. This is South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Thank you for joining me on this Wednesday, July 8th. The U.S. Department of Energy's office has approved a $3.26 billion loan for American Electric Power, or AEP Texas. The loan is expected to finance about 100 transmission projects across the state and double their power carrying capacity. Projects are expected to begin before the end of the year. We'll have more from AEP Texas and the U.S. Department of Energy tomorrow on Morning Edition. 3 news reports that the Nueces River Authority is moving the Harbor Island Seawater Desalination Project into a capital-intensive financing and delivery phase. Also known as the New Water for Texas project, it will require the authority, its customers, and partnering entities to align on long-term financial structure and implementation. Officials said in a statement that the authority is actively pursuing funding, including to the Texas Water Development Board, state leadership, and federal delegates and agencies. The Nueces River Authority does not levy property taxes, but relies on grants, regional partnerships, and customer commitments to advance the project before seeking major external capital. 3 news reports that during the project's initial development phase, officials have secured first-round reservations for the project's 100 million gallons per day capacity, completed early feasibility and development studies, advanced environmental and permitting efforts, as well as engineering and regional pipeline planning. They have also identified a globally recognized development partner. Governor Greg Abbott has directed the Texas Health and Human Services Commission to investigate Mission Regional Medical Center. The order stems over allegations that the hospital marketed childbirth packages to foreign nationals seeking to give birth in the United States. The Rio Grande Valley Business Journal reports in a letter Tuesday to HHSC Executive Commissioner Stephanie Muth that Abbott ordered an immediate investigation into reports that the Mission Hospital advertised birth packages in South Texas in foreign countries to attract expectant mothers seeking U.S. citizenship for their children. Abbott alleged that the practice amounts to birth tourism, which he described as abuse of the nation's immigration system. The Rio Grande Valley Business Journal is in partnership with KEDT. Valley Central News reports that South Texas builders are blaming increased immigration enforcement across the Rio Grande Valley for delays at construction sites, increasing building costs, and labor shortages. Industry leaders with the South Texas Builders Association said that intensified immigration enforcement activity has affected construction workers, suppliers, and other businesses tied to the local economy.
If I used to build a home in 4 months, we're back to 8 months again, 9 months, which means not only that we're losing money and our workers are losing money, but our clients, the community is losing money as well. They're going to have to pay extra interest rates on that.
That was Benny Melendez, president of government relations for the South Texas Builders Association. He spoke with Valley Central News. Melendez also said that federal immigration agents have entered some private residential construction sites during enforcement operations. He mentions the increased activity has led some workers to stay away from job sites out of fear, including some U.S. citizens. The association is advocating for expanded work permits for people who have lived in the country for years without criminal records. 25 News Now reports that an Amazon data center campus could soon be coming to Wharton County. Amazon has not publicly announced the project, and details about planned facilities have not yet been released. 25 News Now says filings with the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation reveal 4 project registrations under the name Project Eagle and list Amazon Data Services as the owner. According to the filings, the proposed campus would be located on about 2,700 acres near Farm to Market Roads 1301 and 442 in the Bowling area. The proposed buildings would span across about 756,000 square feet and cost an estimated $1.2 billion in construction. On that note, construction is scheduled to begin August 1st. 2 of the buildings are expected to be completed by January, while the remaining 2 would be completed in August of 2027. The city of Rockport has appointed Kimberly Henry as its first ever Director of Administration. In her new role, Henry will oversee the city's municipal courts, human resources, and information technology departments. The position was established to strengthen organizational effectiveness and internal operations, as well as support the city's long-term goals. Henry will also continue to take the lead on grants and other projects. In state news, Carmelo Anthony's new defense team has filed a motion for a new trial. And KERA's Caroline Love reports the defense is also asking for a new judge.
Anthony was sentenced to 35 years last month for the killing of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a Frisco high school track meet. His attorneys argue Anthony's constitutional right to a public trial was violated. The case has drawn national attention over the issue of race. Anthony is black and Metcalf was white. Collin County Judge John Roach Jr. set strict rules for the courtroom that limited access to the trial. People lined up outside the courthouse as early as 2 a.m. to get a seat. Roach also issued a gag order barring people involved in the case from posting about it online or talking to media, citing the intense public scrutiny. I'm Caroline Love in Dallas.
Governor Abbott on Tuesday announced a new commission to shape public education. KERA's Bill Ziebel reports the Texas Classroom Commission will be made up of current and former teachers.
The commission's tasked with developing recommendations ahead of the next legislative session on how to support teachers and improve educational outcomes. Patricia Doyle with the union Dallas Alliance AFT is looking forward to teacher input.
Those on the front lines know what they're doing and know what they're talking about. Let's hope that those suggestions are taken to heart and we actually see some actionable changes come to Texas education.
The commission will be led by former Richardson and Dallas ISD math teacher Courtney Boswell McDonald, who now chairs the State Board of Educators certification. The commission's expected to start work in the next few weeks. I'm Bill Ziebel in Dallas.
The Texas Medical Association wants the state to restrict prediction market platforms like Polymarket and Kalshi. KERA's Abigail Ruman reports doctors want to prevent gambling addiction in young adults.
Prediction market platforms allow people to place money on a specific outcome of an event, like a basketball game or even an election. Dr. Lindy McGee is with the Texas Medical Association. She says the organization wants lawmakers to increase the age limit on prediction markets from 18 years to 21 years.
Really what we're hoping for is to get it out of the high schools, to make it a little bit harder for adolescents to access these platforms while their brains are still developing.
McGee says there is no psychological difference between prediction markets and traditional gambling. I'm Abigail Ruman in Dallas.
Last week, the U.S. Department of Agriculture announced a new program to expand fertilizer manufacturing in the United States as a response to rising input costs for farmers. KTTZ's Samantha Larned reports.
The Fertilizer Investment and Expansion for Long-Term Domestic Supply, or FIELDS program, is a $500 million grant program administered by USDA Rural Development. U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins said in a press conference that the intention is to strengthen the U.S. supply chain and decrease costs for farmers.
Our goal is simple. We want fertilizer plants built in America, and we are willing to prioritize it. We want fertilizer produced in America, and we want fertilizer delivered in America to American farmers.
Earlier this year, a survey from the American Farm Bureau Federation found that around 70% of the more than 5,700 respondents were unable to afford all of the fertilizer they needed. This came after the closure of the Strait of Hormuz as part of the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran, which increased fuel and fertilizer prices. In Lubbock, I'm Samantha Larned.
In sports, the Corpus Christi Hooks lost a one-run lead late in Tuesday's 3-2 defeat to the Frisco Rough Riders. They started with a statement, though, as Will Bush belted a homer to left field to bring himself and Trevor Austin in for a 2-0 lead. The Rough Riders would eventually catch up to and pass the Hooks in the top of the 8th inning. The Hooks continue their homestand at Whataburger Field tonight with first pitch set for 6:35 p.m. And in high school sports, Chris 6 News reports that the Beeville Trojans named Lee Yeager as assistant athletic director and baseball head coach.
A new adventure for us, and maybe, just a new chapter for me and another challenge just to go in there and try to see if I can elevate that program.
That was Yeager speaking with Chris 6 News. He previously coached at Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial for 11 seasons beginning in 2015 and led the team to the UIL 5A state semifinal in 2018. He also led the Eagles to multiple playoff appearances, and his 33 years of experience also include a time with the Carroll Tigers from 2000 to 2014. In 2010, the Tigers won the UIL 5A state championship under Yeager's leadership. And that's the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.